Have you ever wondered why so many people speak so well, yet never go far? They plan, they declare, they tell the whole world what they're going to do, but year after year, nothing changes. They talk about success as if it's coming, but in truth, they're just making noise. I've learned one thing throughout my journey. The world doesn't reward promises. It only rewards results. Every time you speak too soon, you're stealing the very energy you need to act. Like a seed exposed to light, before it takes root, your dream withers in silence. Not because it can't grow, but because you revealed it too early. There is a strange power in silence. In stillness, you learn to focus. In stillness, you nurture your inner strength. And in stillness, you build the foundation for success that no one can question. Today, I'll share with you 7 rules to stop talking and start building. These 7 rules will help you protect your energy, rekindle your drive, and make your actions the most powerful voice you have. Stay until the end of the video, because Rule #7 might completely change the way you see success and make the world wonder how you did it all without saying a word. Rule 1, action is worth more than words. I've met so many people full of passion, dreams, and belief. They tell me, "Teacher, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to change my life." And I believe them because their eyes light up when they talk about their dreams. But months later, years later, when I see them again, everything is still the same. That dream hasn't begun. That goal hasn't taken shape. And I realized they didn't fail because they lacked talent. They stopped at words. Words can excite you for a moment, but only action moves you forward step by step. When you tell someone your plans, you receive recognition, praise, admiration, and in that moment, your brain thinks you've already accomplished something. But in truth, you've just let your energy drift into the air. The motivation dissolves with your words, and the only thing left is a pleasant feeling, not real results. The world doesn't care what you plan to do. The world only remembers what you actually did. A craftsman doesn't stand in the street shouting, "I'm going to build a beautiful house." He quietly lays 1 brick each day. Then one morning, passers-by are surprised. "When did this house rise up?" And he just smiles, because while others were talking, he was doing. You want to change your life? Learn to shift your energy from your mouth to your hands. Instead of saying, "I'll start next week," start today. Instead of telling others your plan, let them see your results. Because silent action is 100 times more powerful than loud promises. Success doesn't need fireworks, an audience, or applause. It needs only one thing: steady consistency in silence. Every day you take one more step, every small thing you complete is a brick that builds your own solid path. So before you say another word, stop and ask yourself, am I speaking to feel better or acting to truly move forward? The answer would tell you whether you're living as a talker or a doer. Rule 2, don't let the illusion of achievement kill your drive. Have you ever felt like just by saying your plan out loud, you've already taken a step forward? You tell your friends you're going to lose weight, start a business, write a book. People admire you, praise you, congratulate you, and you feel happy. It feels great, doesn't it? But in that very moment, your motivation quietly begins to die without you even realizing it. When you talk about what you're going to do, your brain believes you've already accomplished part of it. It rewards you with a false sense of victory, as if you've achieved something big. And so you relax, you stop. That short-lived joy from a few compliments has stolen the energy that should have been spent on action. I once met a young man, full of ideas and ambition. He told everyone about his project. "I'm going to create an app that will change the whole market." Whole? At first, everyone was excited, impressed, and supportive. But a few months later, nothing had happened. All those grand words turned into pressure. He felt embarrassed when people asked, "So, how's the project going?" And instead of moving forward, he chose silence and eventually gave up. That's the trap of the illusion of achievement. You think you've done something, when in fact you've only drained your energy into fantasy. Stay alert. Don't trade your long journey for a few moments of praise. If you're truly serious, let your actions speak for you. No need to announce. No need to prove anything. Write down your goals, stick them on your wall, and let only one person know yourself. Complete a small part each day. Every step forward is a quiet victory. Then one day, when the results appear, the world will ask, "When did you do that?" And you'll simply smile, You see, real success doesn't need promotion. It only needs to be nurtured in silence. Because silence doesn't kill motivation, it strengthens it. Before you share your next plan with someone, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I speaking for validation or staying silent to truly move forward? That answer will decide whether you're beginning your journey or just dreaming about it with words. Rule: Uch, protect your energy. Keep the fire within. Motivation is like a small flame. When you keep it in a warm, quiet space, it burns steadily and firmly, warming the whole room. But if you bring that flame out into the wind, even a light breeze can extinguish it. Your mind and your energy work the same way. Every time you share too early, every time you talk too much about your goals, you open the door for outside winds to blow in doubt, judgment, unnecessary advice, even envy. Bit by bit, they steal the heat from within you. And by the time you realize it, that flame has weakened not because you lack dreams, but because you let others blow it out. I once had a friend who was determined to change himself. He wanted to be stronger, more disciplined, and start each day with a run. But instead of quietly beginning, he told everyone, starting tomorrow, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and run 5 kilometers every day. At first, everyone praised him and cheered him on. But a week later, after he overslept a few times, the teasing began. Those harmless jokes slowly drained his initial excitement. In the end, he stopped not because he lacked strength, but because his motivation was drained by the eyes of others. Motivation, like energy, is a limited resource. You must protect it as you would protect precious fuel. Each day, you only have a certain amount of energy. If you spend it explaining, debating, convincing others to believe in you, you'll have nothing left for action. Learn to stay silent like an athlete before the competition. They don't boast, they don't talk, they don't explain. They just focus, breathe, and channel all their energy into the moment of breakthrough. Because they know that one real result is worth more than 1,000 promises. And when you do the same, you'll find your inner fire burns brighter, stronger, and longer. Not because the world recognizes you, but because you recognize yourself. So before you tell anyone else about your plans, stop and ask yourself, am I keeping the fire so it can grow, or am I exposing it to the wind just to be seen? If you truly value your dreams, keep them in silence, fuel them with action, and when they're strong enough, the world will see their light without you saying a word. Rule: Dirt. Stay away from the shadows of doubt and envy. There's one thing you must accept. Not everyone wants you to succeed. Not everyone who says, I'm happy for you, truly means it. And sometimes, the very people you thought would support you are the ones planting seeds of doubt in your mind. They don't need to say, you're going to fail. Just a raised eyebrow, a light question. Are you sure about that? That sounds risky. Others tried that and failed. And that's it. A small piece of your confidence begins to shake. A part of the fire inside you dims. Doubt is the quietest enemy of dreams. It doesn't roar, but it seeps in little by little until you lose faith in yourself. And when faith disappears, action disappears too. I've seen this happen countless times. A young person comes to me full of ambition. He talks about his project, his plan, his vision. But a few weeks later, he returns with a completely different face. Teacher, I think I'm just not good enough. I ask, who told you that? And he stays silent. Because sometimes just one person he trusts expressing doubt is enough to make him stop. And it's not just doubt. Envy is another shadow just as dangerous. When you start to rise, some people will feel uncomfortable. Your effort reminds them of what they haven't done. And instead of changing themselves, they'd rather pull you down so they can feel safe again. They won't attack you openly. They'll just plant a few sarcastic remarks, a few jokes, and once again, the seed of doubt is sown in your mind. So be careful who you share your dreams with. Not everyone who hears, I want to change my life, truly wants to see you change. Share selectively. Speak only to those who genuinely want to see you grow, or those who can guide you when you lose your way. Just like a fragile sprout that must be shielded from strong winds, your dream needs protection until it's strong enough to stand on its own. When the roots run deep, when the stem grows firm, you can bring it into the light and nothing can bring it down. And remember, true advice helps you move forward. Disguised doubt only holds you back. A teacher will show you the path, An envious person will show you all the reasons you can't walk it. So before you let anyone touch your dream, pause and ask yourself, is this person helping me rise or pulling me down? The answer will tell you who deserves to hear your plans and who should remain outside the boundary of your silence. Rule, besh, the power of momentum. It only comes when you're quiet and taking action. Have you ever watched a train start to move? At first, it rolls slowly heavy, sluggish, as if it will never get going. But then, the wheels turn faster and faster, and once momentum builds, nothing can stop it. Your life works the same way. Every great achievement begins with slow, patient, quiet steps. The problem is, most people aren't patient enough to let momentum build. They talk too much, plan too much, debate too much, but never take the first step. They forget that momentum doesn't come from words, it comes from action. I once knew two friends, both wanting to write a book. The first told the whole world about his project. He discussed ideas, shared the title, even planned marketing before writing a single line. The second said nothing. He simply wrote 500 words a day, tired, busy, unseen. 6 months later, he finished his first draft. And when the book was released, people asked, "When did you do that?" He just smiled. While everyone was talking, I was working. Momentum is the reward for consistent silence. It doesn't come from inspiration, it comes from rhythm. Each time you finish a small task, each time you keep a promise to yourself, momentum grows a little stronger. And soon, it carries you forward, even when you're tired or uninspired. But if you keep stopping to explain, to tell people what you're doing, you're breaking your own rhythm. It's like a train stopping every few meters just to announce its destination. It will never gain enough speed to take off. Momentum doesn't just boost productivity, it builds confidence. Because every time you act, even in small ways, you send yourself a message. I can do this. And nothing is more powerful than that belief. Successful people don't have superpowers. They simply don't destroy their momentum with unnecessary words. So instead of saying, I'll start when I'm ready, start, and that's how you become ready. A small step today is worth more than 1,000 unstarted plans, because momentum doesn't come from conversations. It comes from repeated daily action. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I building momentum through action or breaking it with words? The answer will decide whether you're truly moving forward or just spinning in circles within your own noise. Rule, alter, the power of unexpected results. There's something that makes the world go silent for a few seconds. It's the result that comes from silence. No noise, no promotion, no promises. Just someone quietly working and then one day showing up with an achievement that leaves everyone astonished. Have you noticed people easily forget declarations, but they never forget the results no one saw coming? I once knew a farmer who lived in a remote countryside. He didn't tell anyone about his plan. For an entire year, he quietly studied new techniques, experimented with new methods, and tended his land in silence. When harvest season came, the whole village was stunned. His fields yielded twice as much as the year before. When people asked for his secret, he simply smiled and said, I worked when no one was watching. That's the power of unexpected results. Because when you don't boast, you free yourself from the pressure to prove anything. You're free to experiment, to make mistakes, to start over. And when results appear, they carry the purity of genuine effort. On the other hand, when you speak too soon, you trap yourself in the eyes of others. You feel you must work faster, do better, meet every expectation, and that pressure steals the joy of growth. Many people don't fail because they lack skill, but because they carry others' expectations too early. Unexpected results not only earn respect, they build real credibility. When you don't have to talk or prove yourself, and you let your work speak for itself, you gain not just admiration, you gain trust. Look around. The greatest artists, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most disciplined athletes, most of them choose silence during preparation because they know the light is most beautiful when it appears at the right moment. If you work hard in quiet persistence and one day reveal the result, people won't just be impressed, they'll be inspired. Because you didn't say you would do it, you did it. And that's the most powerful message anyone can deliver. Remember, Act in silence and let your results make the noise. Because a true breakthrough doesn't need to be predicted, it only needs to be proven. Before you share your next plan with the world, pause and ask yourself, do I want to be known for what I say or for what I've done? That answer will tell you whether you're chasing recognition or planting the seeds for a result that will astonish the world. Rule 7. Let results become your strongest form of promotion. In today's world, everyone wants to be seen. People hang banners, run ads, post every day to prove they're doing something. But there's a far more effective kind of promotion, real results. When you actually accomplish something, you don't need to say a word. The world will speak for you. A flower doesn't have to knock on every door to be praised. It simply blooms in its season, and its fragrance finds those who can appreciate it. Success works the same way. It doesn't need drums or spotlights, just enough time, effort, and consistency. I once knew a man who worked silently for years. He told no one about his project, shared no progress, bragged about nothing. Then one day, he released a product that stunned everyone. No advertising, no fanfare, just a result so undeniable that no one could ignore it. From that day on, he never needed to introduce himself again. His results did that for him. Meanwhile, others kept talking about what they were going to do. They made plans, they promised the world, but month after month, nothing happened. And those once inspiring words slowly became evidence of inconsistency. People stopped believing, and worse, they stopped believing in themselves. Results are the most trustworthy business card you'll ever carry. They don't need bright colors or clever slogans, just truth. One action completed, one goal achieved, one promise kept. That's the most powerful marketing campaign you'll ever have in life. And here's the thing, results naturally create reputation. You don't need to chase attention, attention will find you. Because the world is always drawn to doers, not talkers. So instead of trying to make people believe in you, let your achievements leave them no choice but to believe. When you build something truly valuable, you don't have to say, I'm good. Others will say it for you. And when they ask, how did you accomplish all this? You just smile. Because you know you let your results speak for you. Pause and ask yourself, do I want to be remembered for my promises or for what I've completed? That answer will define your entire journey, whether you're someone trying to impress the world with words or someone quietly building a legacy through action. Let action speak. We've just walked together through 7 rules, 7 building blocks for creating a solid life built on silence and action. Each rule is like a small piece, and when you put them together, you'll see the bigger picture, the path of those who truly get things done. A path without noise, without empty promises, only sweat, focus, and unwavering faith. The world today is too noisy. People talk about success more than they actually work for it. They discuss dreams, write plans, shout slogans, but forget that all greatness begins with small actions repeated every single day. You don't need the world to know what you're doing. You just need to know you're on the right path. Because when the results come, you won't have to prove anything. Life itself will prove it for you. If today you find yourself talking more than doing, don't be ashamed. Because right now you can start again. You can choose silence, focus, and rebuild from within. One small action today is worth more than 1,000 promises for tomorrow. And when that day comes, when others see your results, you won't have to say, I promised I'd do this, because they'll see for themselves you did it. If you can master one day, you can master your whole life. Jim Rohn. If this message resonates with you, hit like to help spread it to more people. Subscribe to Jim Rohn Treasures to go deeper with me on the journey of self-development, and comment below. Which of the 7 rules will you start applying first? Remember, you and I both have a precious gift today. Use it wisely, because what you do today will be the loudest voice for your future.